everyone, Janie here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful card fold that is actually really easy to do. And I've seen it called half hexagonal, I've seen it called gazebo. Whatever it is beautiful, so I'm calling it half hexagonal gazebo. And I've seen some videos where, they're showing how to make it in 5x7. So I know you all prefer A2 size, and so I just used some math skills and came up with a tutorial for you. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. So with one piece of 8.5 inch by 11 inch cardstock, you can easily get 2 of these cards and still have a couple pieces left over that you can set aside and use if you need. So those are the pieces you'll have to make 2 cards, but here are the measurements you're going to need to make 1 card. You're going to need a piece that is 4 1/4 inches by 5.5 inches, and then you're going to need 2 strips that are each 6.5 inches by 3/4 of an inch. Next, you'll need your cardstock with the 5.5 inch length across the top, and you're going to score that at 5/8 of an inch from each end. And I like to score one end and then rotate it and score the other end. Once those ends are scored, fold on the score lines in a valley fold fashion so that it looks like this. Next, it's time to score the strips, and you're going to want the 6.5 inch length to go across the top, and then you are going to score at a 1/2 inch and 2 1/4 inches and 4 1/4 inches and 6 inches. And then you'll fold all of those score lines in a mountain fold, and it'll look like this. And you're going to do the same thing to the other strip of cardstock so that you'll have 2 strips that look like this. Okay, so before you start adding any layers or acetate, if you're going to do that or anything, the first thing you're going to do is make sure that everything fits together, because, if you cut one of the papers a hair off, you may have to adjust the score line. Okay, so this is your back layer, okay, and this is what it looks like. And these are your top and bottom pieces. Whoops, and that's what they look like. Now, with the mountain folds up on these and the valley folds down on that, you're going to put that piece right on there. See that fold goes right under the edge, okay? You're going to bring it straight across, opening your card all the way out, and putting the other score line where that's folded, you're going to put that tab underneath on that side. And make sure that it all lays flat, because this is how your card is going to be when it goes in the envelope. And you're going to do that for both pieces, because it's really easy to, accidentally cut a piece just a hair smaller, when you're measuring it and you just didn't measure it exactly right. So just put it together and make sure that those pieces all line up and lay flat. Okay, and then this is how it's going to pop up when it's glued down, which if I stand this up, it's all going to slide right now, but there you go, just to give you an idea. Okay, so now that you know that everything fits together perfectly, this is where you're going to start adding any layers that you're going to be adding in here. And maybe you're not, maybe you're going to want to keep it white or whatever color you ended up using. Totally up to you. But if you're going to add layers, this is the time. Also, you may say, well, where does the sentiment go? That's going to go right here on the back. So you can either cut another piece of cardstock and do your stamping and signing and then glue it on the back. Or if you are going to stamp directly on the back, I would do it now. Okay, and then also when you put these on the sides like so, you might want to add, once you get both pieces on here, you might want to add a strip down the side just to camouflage those edges. Okay, so when this is put together, and this is on the back, so, you know, or the sides where no one's going to see it, but you may want to put a strip of something down the side, whether it's a ribbon or, you know, pattern paper, whatever. So I wanted to point that out as well. And if you're going to be doing any layering on top of these pieces, get all of that done first, okay? And then we're going to glue this on. But I'm going to glue it on right now, just so I can show you. So let me grab my glue. Just using my Beacon 3-in-1. Use whatever glue you like. You can even use, you know, double-sided tape. But I'm putting my glue on. And just like I did earlier, I'm going to slide it under so that it meets up with that fold, okay? You want it to meet right up with that fold, so you can just kind of tug on it, okay? And of course mine is moving around because it's still wet, okay? And we're going to do the opposite, well, not the opposite, we're going to do the same thing at the opposite end. So I am putting my glue right there on the underside of that tab, bringing it across and folding it under. And again, I'm making sure that the top is lined up, that everything is lined up even, just like so. All right, and that's what it looks like. And then the same thing on the bottom. You will just add your glue or double-sided tape, whatever you're adding. And again, you're going to bring it right in here behind, you're going behind this strip here and right up against the fold. Okay, so right where this folds, you want to make sure that it is snug. And then I'm going to come over and add my glue behind this piece. And just like on the top, I'm going to bring it across, fold it under, and tap it down. I want to make sure that everything is lined up perfectly. Get that done. And this is what it looks like from the top. And you can go around and make sure that all your folds are even and, you know, the way you want them, because, you know, we've been smashing them down while we're doing everything else. And that is how your card is going to stand up. This is what it looks like from the front, the side view, okay? And that's how easy it is to make this card fold, okay? That is how easy this is. I can't believe it. You just need those two strips, a few score lines, and voila, you have a beautiful card. Jumping back in here just for a second, just in case you missed it and you're going to have a question for me. When this card lays flat, it is A2 size. It is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is the size that you had cut out, and it will lay in an envelope. And when it comes out of the envelope, you can see it's already starting to pop up. I didn't even do anything and it's popped up that much, okay? And if somebody wants it popped up more, fold those sides in like so. So it comes out of the envelope nicely, it goes into the envelope nicely. Okay, now that I've showed you the basics on how to make this card fold, now I'm going to share some variations and tips and tricks with you. So the first variation is, you will notice that my side pieces go all the way to the back edge, and that is not the case with the samples that I showed you. Okay, you can see that they don't go all the way to the back, and I was talking about you could put a strip over that of, you know, pattern paper or cardstock. And the reason I did that is because when I gave you the measurements, I didn't want it to be a lot of 1/8 inch measurements, because for some of you it's difficult to do, you know, 1/8 of an inch. You may not even have a scoreboard that has 1/8 of an inch on it. So I was just trying to make it easy for you. But if you would like the measurements so that it goes all the way to the back, I am going to put that on the screen for you right now. Next variation. I made the strips 3/4 of an inch wide. You can make them as wide as you want. You can make them 1 inch if you would like. That is totally up to you. I just happen to like 3/4 of an inch. So it's one of the things I like about creating cards is you can make changes that fit your needs. The next variation is this. So I put this piece all the way across, all as one piece. But you might like to just put a piece in each one of these sections. And if that is the case, then I will put on the screen right here the measurements for each of those sections, or it's simple enough for you to measure yourself. But I will put it on the screen right here. Okay, now for some tips and tricks. Let's say that you wanted to put an image here in the middle, but not touching the top or the bottom, and make it look like it's floating. You can do that by putting a piece of acetate behind here. And same thing with the side panels, or you can just put one whole piece of acetate in here. Totally up to you. But another tip is if what you're putting isn't going to show, like there's not going to be any, empty, let me find something here. Let's say that that was in the middle. Obviously, I wouldn't want to put a piece of cardstock between here and there to hold it. I would definitely want to do the acetate. But what if you are putting something in here and you just want everything to be a little bit more sturdy, and maybe stick together better? What I'm doing is I cut a piece of cardstock that was wide enough that it would hide behind what I was doing, and I cut it 4 inches. So even though this is 4 1/4, I didn't want it to come all the way to the edges. And I'm going to be putting that behind there, gluing that in place. And then I'm going to be gluing my pieces on top of that. And that way I know that they are going to be nice and sturdy, and I don't have to worry about them coming off. So that is just one idea. And also I'm going to do the same thing on the side, only I'm just doing a little piece down here because I'm just going to be putting some pieces down here if I can get a hold of them. And so that just gives them a little bit more stability, I think. So that is just one of the tips and tricks. Well, actually two, the acetate or the piece of cardstock, just in case. Or you don't need either one of those. If whatever image you're putting in here reaches top and bottom, that should hold it in place just fine. I absolutely fell in love with this card fold as soon as I saw it, and I saw several tutorials on YouTube, but they were all for the 5x7 size. So for those of you that are interested in that size, if you request, I might make a tutorial, or you can just search it on YouTube because I'm sure you will find plenty. And while you're at it, you will probably get so many ideas and inspiration for this. And there it is. And I think it is just so cute. The papers and ephemera that I'm using are from This Calls for Confetti. And I'll put the name of it up here on the screen so that you can see it. But I just think it's so cute, and I don't know if you can see it good, but it says Dear Santa on that strip that I used. I thought that was just so perfect for the whole theme of this card. I think it's just adorable. And now I'm going to show you another card. Okay, so years ago I got a card making kit that came free with a magazine, a craft magazine that I was subscribed to, and I've never used it. I'm really not into card making kits, even though they are beautiful. So I wanted to use something from my stash, and by the way, I encourage you to do the same thing. So anyways, what I wanted to show you was another variation. So this piece is sitting on the top, as you can see, and it fits nicely between the top and bottom. And the strips that I use, top and bottom, are actually part of that kit. So I didn't even layer them. They came that way, and they were the right size and everything. But what I wanted to show you is, what if you don't want to put it there? What if you want to put it on the inside? And that's what I'm going to do. That wasn't my original plan. My original plan was to do it just like I showed you. And then, I don't know, as I was playing with it, I thought it would look really pretty on the inside. I'm going to be using foam tape. Let me grab that here. I'm going to be using foam tape to pop it up a little bit. But, you know, I kind of would like to know your opinion, you know, below in the comments. So please leave me a comment and let me know, you know, what do you think? Should I have put it on the outside? Or after I get the card done, you'll see what it looks like on the inside. So that was just a variation that I wanted to show you and, you know, let you know about. And I'll put this together and you can see it finished. Okay, here this one is finished. And of course, I will have pictures of these cards at the end of the video, as always. But that's what this one looks like with that on the inside. And I didn't pop it up much. It does have a layer of foam tape behind it, but I didn't want to give it way too much dimension, even though I could have. But I just think this is so pretty and elegant. And so these are my cards. And they are different, but the same. So I would love to know, which one do you like better? I mean, do you like it better with everything here on the outside? Or do you like it with some of it on the outside and some of it on the inside? Let me know. I thought you might want to see that it fits in an envelope and what it looks like when it comes out. And so it already starts to pop up, so I'm pretty sure the recipient will be able to figure that out and stand it up just fine. Thank you all so much for stopping by today. I hope that you liked the tutorial and found it easy to follow. I like to keep it simple because for me, it's all about teaching you how to make the card fold and not about teaching you how to decorate it. That part I leave to you and your imagination and creativity. I will have links below to the products I used from This Calls for Confetti, and you will also find a link below to buy me a cup of hot chocolate if you should be interested in that. I always appreciate everyone's support in helping me keep my channel going, because this channel wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.